Buda Hills.
And I try to be your sunshine, not just a fountain of information. And now you see we have called the Liberty Bridge. Originally was called Franz Joseph Bridge, with the name of our emperor and king of the 19th century. And the bridge itself is over 120 years old. And your ship is buildings to your left side are over 100 years old, and they are combined beautifully with this glass wheel. There's a famous brick arches, can you see? So that's the Great Covered Market. According to CNN, across the river you can see University. Right across the river, you see that nice building with the green colored. During the communist times, she was guarded by the statue of a Soviet soldier who had a machine gun in his hand. Now that soldier had to live inside the market. It's got quite a huge space in there. That quality produce is confiscated, so you wouldn't find rotten tomatoes there. Our cuisine is associated with. It comes from Central America. So, I mean, the plant itself originates from there. An incredibly long time ago, in the 15th century, And these walls were defense walls to protect Pest. It started with the Magyar history. Magyars and Hungarians are the same people. It's just that we call ourselves Magyars in our own language. So Hungarians lived there in Asia as a group of nomadic tribes, and it's not very far from here. So down to the left side is where you can find. That's about a 10-12 minutes walk from here.
See a story of stopping?
Well, you can see that we have several thousands of these bikes, and people really like using them very much. Europe's largest synagogue, and that one you will see to the right side in just a second. You need to look back into the Oriental design. Largest synagogue of Europe from 1859. Amazing, isn't it? With this Moorish design, beautiful brickwork, weeping willow tree, so it's a steel one. And that one is a Holocaust monument. And also we have another ruined pubs. Ruined pubs were opened in some abandoned old buildings, which were them, and furnished them with curious furniture and filled it with very interesting design the city has. And now we take you to Paris. This is a Parisian style Andrássy Avenue, part of the World Heritage List, so every single building is protected here. And the avenue was built back in the golden age of our city, when the market hall was built as well, the late 19th century. So that's when we enjoy the beautiful dynamic growth of Budapest. These buildings are in Renaissance revival style with lots of details and beautiful goddesses on their facades and nice proportions. They have mostly apartments upstairs where the prices can reach 120,000 euro for a 1,000 square feet apartment. Here, this first stretch of the avenue has most of the palaces of fashion, and trying to recapture somehow will bring us down to the Hero Square. The next building to show you is it's got part of the Berlin Wall to your left side in front of it, and the monument over there. We are very proud of Franz Liszt. Our airport is named after him as well. Right beneath the surface of this avenue you can find avenue they were, but Buda has even higher real estate prices. They say that there are two kinds of people living in Budapest: those who live in Buda and all those who want to live in Buda. Right, indicating Pest is not so elegant for living, but look around here. There's a really nice house. And then roll it up and offer it with a lot of sugar on. But this pancake, the pancake is not rolled, but it's folded 2 times, so it must look just like a triangle on your plate. And then you put some the Lidl.
Where are we parking?
Well, you are just after lunch. Come on. Beautiful animal houses, and the garden itself was designed by royal gardeners. and the star architects of the 1860s designed, for instance, the Elephant House, which you find we have got one of the many entrance gates to the Széchenyi bath. One of those experiences that you shouldn't miss in Budapest is playing chess in the hot water. And here you can do it in the Széchenyi bath. Yeah. Here to the right side, you're going to see the main entrance to the Széchenyi bath with the steam rising in front of the building. Because, you know, here the waters have the temperature of 171 degrees in Fahrenheit, 77 in centigrade. So that makes these waters very precious, also because they bring up minerals from the ground. So the country is very rich in hot thermal waters, like an illustration from a fairy tale book. And here normally we have an ice skating rink. And you know, just about 5 days there snow falls during our winter, all through the summer season without any rainy day. Later on we are planning to get off this coach again because there's a fantastic exotic looking 760-year-old church we want to show you, and that one is in Buda, and we can see it only if we do a 10-minute walk. It's very close to your ship. It's just a little beyond the White Bridge, and that fair was opened last Friday. Oh, they are so nice, you know, a piece of roast sausage, a little mustard, fresh white bread, and a nice mug of that hot wine is a spiritual experience, I tell you. So you don't have to go to a fancy restaurant, you know, to try here something really good. And you can find, for instance, a rooster testicle goulash over there. Or you can find potato dumplings, the so-called dödölle, which is something very nice, or the famous Hungarian langos, all the strudels and other Christmas specialities. And it's not just food, of course, but all those Christmas-related items like honey cakes can be purchased. Young democracy, which is 26 years old. And since more than 10 years now, Hungary has been part of the European Union as well. Can be found just outside the city of Buda. Beauty. We have 3 railway stations in our city. This one is the one from where the trains leave for Moscow, for instance. This is the Western Railway Station. And here, look at this part here to the right side. This is where the royal waiting room was, and that was converted into a McDonald's in 19, and now it's from 1877. And do you know who the designer was? The architect was moving to another building that he designed, the next one on the right side, full of nice details. It's actually called Eiffel Palace, and also the Margaret Bridge was designed by him. So in the 1870s he got a lot of work constructed here about 100 years ago. Work at the end of this next street to the right side. So if you look to the end of the street, there you can see a Gothic dome. Can you see? So that's the one. So that's the parliament. Now in Budapest, we don't have anything that's higher than that. Right? So we don't have any skyscrapers. They're not allowed to be built in Budapest at all. It's not higher than that. Well, what about our parliament? It has 199 representatives. Now we have a unicameral, is our prime minister now. And our last elections happened last year, and the next one here in Pest located. And around the parliament we have most of the ministries, so that's kind of a government quarter and a banking quarter as well. And this is really a huge success, so people like taking jobs. Our cakes are very dangerous because they speak English as well, and they can talk to you. When you enter the cake shop, you know, they look at you, then it's good, otherwise it's not, they say. Don't you think our blood type is coffee itself? We drink so much of that here. So coffee, really nice. Now here we are by the Royal Palace. Look to the right, there's the St. Stephen's Basilica, and the Advent Fair will be open. So don't cry, it's just a happy walkway. And once you reach this concert hall, then you can make a little turn. Contra Aquincum Roman ruins, and this is where the growth of Pest started. The church is Gothic, and we are facing Galliard Hill. On the top of the hill is the Liberty statue, and we have the Ruda saying hello to us. Can you see to the left, Museum of Medicine? And here comes a scene, 6 scenes from the First World War to your left, because in this building of the bodyguards palace and details we have gilding. Here, for instance, on this arch we have frescoes and Zsolnai porcelain over there. And here you will see the main entrance where these people with the Segway are. And you will see the 2 angry lions and fountains. Well, fountains don't really work anymore because in the winter season they don't. Here to the left you see we have the security officer patrolling around, and above all that we have the royal hanging gardens, and one can walk up from here to the royal palace, right? So this is like a nice frame. Area over there was quite heavily bombed at the end of the Second World War, so the old hotels, the Ritz, the Carlton, we just lost, so we had to build new ones on their sites. So we have the buildings and monuments survived. So please get ready. We will be getting off the coach in about 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and we're going to use the audio devices, channel 21. And this is our coach number 1 with Thomas and Erica, and our coach is going to leave from the same spot where we will be now getting off.
Compliment, thank you.
St. Stephen's Basilica, they have just the same height.
Sweetie. No. 哎，挺好的，真的挺好，挺好的，100元，我后来非常满意。我对景要求不高，我只要对人的要求看。我们也是在护照上面。我手机准备。哎，我怎么？哦，你那个孤僻的一个。